Hey y'all, Bay here, bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, and you're watching the Japanese version. Sorry, I'm just gonna be chatting this time. And as you saw on the title or my thumbnail, I was unable to do a recent prediction for Fest or Collection. The reason is because I couldn't, what? Tell like the timing when to do it, because recently Club is starting to like disclose these kind of info much earlier than before. Before they don't like tell us anything, and then all of a sudden they just bring the fest and stuff. But now they are starting to show like a piece of information beforehand, and then enter the fest. So recent predictions that I've done in the past have been like when I upload the video on the same day they disclose. So it was like useless sort of. So I wanted to I needed to find out the best timing to do this type of video. But this time I'm shooting this on July 21st, and I think I'm gonna upload it on this day today. So it's early enough that Club will not disclose any info like this. Normally Club tend to disclose any kind of new info on Wednesday or Thursday when their official stream is happening, especially Thursday when the global one is happening. I don't know why, but they don't disclose shit on the Japanese. I don't know why. It makes me feel like they are neglecting the Japanese users, which is a shame on them. Anyways, so the topic for this time's video is my Dream Fest prediction for the end of July Dream Fest. So, as you guys already know, I think the second year and have already finished at the end of June. So it was like only a 1 month campaign. Unlike before when the first year and was happening for the Japanese app, that is, it took like 2 months. But this time, I guess it looks like it finished. They don't like mention anything that relates to 2 years. So I think it's done. But I don't know why, but our club is still like selling the 97 Japanese characters. So I don't know what the purpose is here, but maybe it's like to like fill the gap. I don't know what's taking them so long to release like all the European characters or like other South American characters, but it's at the moment very unfair. For those who's been going with Japanese characters, it's really good because we have all the solidarity characters or like new Fest Tsubasa and all the OP characters now, right? Whereas people that's been using European team or South American team, they are lacking so many characters to go up against these new Japanese team, right? So that's probably why, although the second year and have already finished, they are still bringing like Swedish new characters with solidarity or like 17%. And at the moment, there's only 2 for skill type, solidarity, and 1 for agility, and there's none for red. So I think they are still going to keep bringing these like European characters. So we are still missing France, Germany, Netherlands, and Italy, right? So I think they will keep bringing in these European characters so that they will complete all the team skills. So I think we are now in that era because they have done Swedish characters, and I think some other European characters will come. And as you can see at the transfer section, sorry it's in Japanese, but the currently running 97 Japanese characters transfer will end on July 23rd, 15:59 Japan time. That's Tuesday, right? And since there's no time for maintenance here, I assume they are not going to shift this gacha to another gacha right after. My assumption is they will bring something new on Monday before this gacha finishes. So there's gonna be 2 gachas running at the same time, at least for Monday, and like up to Tuesday 15:59. That's my prediction. And I don't know what kind of gacha that will be, but there is a rumor that it might be Germany, right? And we'll see about that. We don't know what's coming, but I have a feeling that it's coming on Monday, 16 o'clock Japan time. That's my feeling. And then, I think that's gonna be someone Europe. I think we're now in European era. So my prediction for this time's Dreamfest is also Europe, and I have some reasons why I think it's gonna be Europe. First of all, every time when there is Super Dreamfest, the one afterwards, even if it's not Super Dreamfest, is like it relates to Super Dreamfest that happened previous month. Like for example, when the most recent global first year Ann came, the very last Super Dreamfest was Blue Tsubasa and Red Cliver. And then the month after, they brought, it wasn't Super Dreamfest, but they brought Green Wakabayashi, right? Yeah. So it's like as strong as the Super Dreamfest characters. And when you look back to the Japanese app first year Ann, when they brought Santana and Sho at the beginning, and then on the next month they brought Schneider, so they're like the same. And at that time it was both Super Dreamfest. Although Schneider only came alone, it was called Super Dreamfest. And even before that, this doesn't it's not for global users, it wasn't like this, but on the Japanese app, the very first Dreamfest that they brought was in 2017 end of year, when they brought Riverwool, Blue Riverwool, and Red Levin. That was the very first Super Dreamfest. And since they only were able to cover two colors, Levin Red and Riverwool Blue, on the next month they brought Green Pierre. And I think these relate to each other, you know. Even if so, I don't know why, you know, the best way I think would be to just bring 3 types at the same time, but then they can't do that. I don't know why. They only do 2, so they make one last one to follow on the next month. That is the pattern. So if you think about the last month Super Dreamfest, it was Red Tsubasa, Blue DS, and they were super OP. They're both super OP. So I have the feeling that this month's Dreamfest, I don't know if they'll call it Super Dreamfest, but whoever it's gonna be the same level as Tsubasa and Dia. And it's gotta be green, because we're lacking green. So, and we're in European era, which means I am able to narrow down my prediction to green European. And if you look at the past patterns around Super Dreamfest, there's something really awkward. Like for example, when they brought the Blue Tsubasa and Red Cliver, they were both like really offensive characters, right? But then when they brought the green one the next month, it was Wakabayashi, who is a really defensive character. So there's always one character that's opposed to the other two. So like when they brought Santana, Sho, and Schneider at the first year Ann for Japanese app, Schneider and Santana are forward and really offensive characters, but Sho is defensive. Or when they brought Riverwool, Levin, and then Pierre was the only character that was defensive. So I have the feeling that whoever is coming up this end of month will be defensive, because Tsubasa and Diaz is super offensive. So I was able to now narrow down my guess to a really I don't know precisely, because now I know that I don't know, but you know, my prediction from the past experience is it's gonna be green, it's gonna be European, and it's gonna be someone defensive, because the other ones were offensive. So my guess is green Gino. Yeah, man, it's gonna be green Gino. That's my guess. I think many people are waiting for strong Fess or whoever, Mueller, but the reason why I made it Gino is because I think more people will be happier if Gino came rather than Mueller. The reason is because existing Mueller is already strong. Whether JY, Red Mueller, or 2018 Blue Mueller, they're both strong, really strong, right? And if they bring another new like green Mueller, for example, they will one day, of course. But I think it's better that they bring someone like Gino first before Mueller, because then that way you can switch two goalies even if you're a European team. Right now, those who are using Japanese team are now able to like have at least two goalkeepers that's strong. Like for my Japanese account, I'm using Fes Wakashimazu as a starter, and then I have on bench the Fes Wakabayashi with SGGK level 94. I have both of them at a really high level, so I could change these goalies looking at who my opponent is. If my opponent is like non-Japanese, I could switch the Fes Wakashimazu to Fes Wakabayashi from the second half, right? I can do that if I'm using Japanese, or even Morisaki. Dream Collection Morisaki is strong enough to take over, you know. But then if you look at European or South American team, there's no substitute, right? Well, of course there's 2018 Xeno, but if you compare that with all the top tier goalies today, I don't think, to be frankly speaking, I don't think that Gino can be said as the same level. So I think it's more important, if you look at it globally, that they bring Gino before Mueller, because Mueller, if they bring Mueller, that means even if this Fest Mueller is strong, that means you won't be able to use blue or red Mueller anymore, right? You can't put two Muellers in one team, so that's gonna happen. Of course, there's pro and con. Like, if it's Mueller, like I think many people have already raised Mueller, whether windmill or wild catch, so they can put that skill to this new Fest Mueller right away and use him right away. But then, if it's Gino, you can use either Gino or Mueller as substitutes. So it's gonna be, I think, if you look at it like as a whole, it's gonna be the European team will be stronger, and then Mueller could follow later. I'm sure all the characters will become a Fest one day, and at the moment Mueller is already OP, the existing Mueller. So I think what's needed right now is Gino. If Gino is strong, it's okay, right? It doesn't have to be Mueller. It could be anybody that's strong, as long as it's strong. And I feel right now how Club is differentiating these transfers is for normal transfers, I think they bring characters with good team skills, right? And then for Dream Collection characters, they bring them with hidden abilities to support the team or other characters, like Takeshi, Gentile, whoever. And then for Fest, they bring character that's strong in terms of themselves as a stat, or with a very strong main skill. Like Fest Diaz, Fest Tsubasa had a really strong skill, and even if you look at it in the past, like Clivert, he had a really strong skill, proven ace, or even Tsubasa, blue one even, he had Skydive, which was really strong, which is still really strong, of course. And if you look at all the Dreamfest characters that's existing already, Wakabayashi, Wakashimazu, and Espadas, their skill power were like above 490. So it's gotta be strong. If it's Gino, or whether it's Gino or Mueller, my guess is Gino. But if it's Gino, there's not many good skills at the moment that's existing. I think the best skill he had was like 455 at level 99. But today it's like 500. Right now, all the good goalkeepers have something around 500, right? So if it's going to be Fest Gino, it's gotta be somewhere above like 490. Or else it doesn't make sense. People are gonna argue like hell if Espadas has 495, Wakashimazu has 500, Wakabayashi has 490, and if Gino is like 455, people are gonna argue. And of course people are gonna argue, right? It's unfair. So I don't think that's gonna be the case. So my prediction is it's gonna be green Gino with a very strong skill, right? Golden right arm, platinum left arm, both arm type of skill. I don't know what. But anyways, yeah, that's my guess. So it's about time, I think, European players that's using European team gets to be happy. It's been too unfair, I think. Even though I'm going with Japanese, I don't like the way they keep doing one part and then don't do the other for a long time. It's not good if you think about the game as a whole. So I really wish they rush to bring all the Europeans or even South Americans. We are still lacking a lot of South Americans, so they should definitely do that. I hope they will. I think the way they rotate things is, I personally think it's wrong. They keep doing Japanese for like the entire month, and then they finally bring like normal gacha Swedish characters. It's not fair. I think people who's been using European team deserve to enjoy, participate the anniversary. But too bad it's over. But at least, you know, a club could rush all the new characters so that European characters or South American characters can catch up to the Japanese characters. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe for those who haven't yet, and stay tuned for my future ones. Thanks for watching, and bye.